What's going on YouTube? Saharali here, and today I have a wig making video to share with y'all. Now, I'm not going to call this a tutorial because I don't know if there's anything really to learn or follow along with. It's more like a video of watching me suffer trying to make a wig for this tiny little doll, and maybe I'll have something of value to share with you at the end. So this doll is the Gulliver small mini mermaid, and she is absolutely minuscule. Her head circumference is approximately 3 centimeters, which is about 1.2 inches. So you can imagine the thickness in the wefts of the wig cap are gonna just build up really quickly. In addition, I couldn't use rubber bands on her head at all. They were just too big. So I had to substitute that with cotton thread. Looking back, I would suggest you use thread the same color as the hair because it will inevitably get stuck in the glue, and trying to pull it out actually ended up deforming my wig cap. You may end up cutting all the thread off, but just to be on the safe side, you're better off using the same color as your doll's hair. I used 2 layers of tulle, but upon remaking this wig, I only used 1, and I just made sure to go through and individually pull the glue in the holes of the fabric, which ensures the wefts have something to hold on to. I had to use a craft knife to get the wig cap off, and it was a struggle. It did not want to move away from her scalp piece. As you can see, the cap is a bit loose from me pulling the thread off, so again, I don't recommend you do that. So, making wefts. I didn't really want the doll's hair to be any longer than her body, so I measured it and cut it to size just to avoid waste where possible. I used more cling film as a base, and with the same fabric glue and a silicone tool, I apply the glue in a straight line along the thinnest wefts I can manage. I trim them up once the glue is dry, and I will actually trim them again before gluing to make sure the hard glue section of the weft is as small as possible. The gluing process was pretty stock standard. I decided not to make her wig too complicated because I knew that might turn into a mess really quick. So a simple middle part on a long wig was the goal. I start in the back and glue upwards, making sure to get some hair in front of her little ears because I like when it hangs down in front of them. You can see this is already quite bulky. I was hoping at this point that a hair straightener would help me tame it, and it did to a point. Now, I went in with a slit cap parting line, and I did it again on my second attempt of this wig. I'm not sure I would recommend it on the third. The bulk it creates is just too much for this tiny scale, and I would actually recommend you do the folding part line method for something this small. But I'll show you how I went about it just so you can see because it was tricky. More cling film to protect the head from the glue, and oh, putting the weft in was so fiddly I didn't even record it, of course. The advantage of the doll this small is that you could use a curling iron to flatten up the wefts. Since you can directly press the hot part of the iron onto the weft, it flattens them out like nothing. As you can see, this is my first attempt and the parting line looked kind of wonky, but I wasn't willing to give up, so I thought that styling the hair would help disguise the slightly unkempt parting line. I decided to curl her hair using cut up straws and bobby pins. I dunked the curls in hot water and let them air dry. As I was removing the straws, I used a light mist of hairspray on the curls, hoping that would help them stay longer. Curls tend to fall out of alpaca fibre really quickly. After removing all the straws, oh wow, she looks messy. I tried to style it. I used plain cotton thread rather than hair ties because, yeah, hair ties are not going to fit in her hair. And I do eventually get the style under control-ish, but it looked awful. It was really bad. It wasn't cute, big stylish, it was just messy. That's the only way I can describe it. It was messy and ugly. But I have since remade this wig, and that's what I'm going to show you in the photos here. The second attempt was much less unruly, and even though it's still slightly on the big side around the scalp, I think it looks much better. It's just the soft, cute, typical mermaid hairstyle that I wanted for her. To achieve this look, I used a hair straightener and a screwdriver, and individually curled the hair 1 curl at a time. It burnt my fingers a lot. So yeah, that's what I have for you today. The smallest wig I've ever made, and perhaps one of the smallest wigs ever. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe to all that YouTube stuff. Remember to drink some water. Tell me how cute you think Ariel is in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!